Good evening, folks. For tonight's video, I would like to talk about a very powerful word when it comes to language learning, and that is retaining. Retaining vocab, retaining any type of grammatical point, idiom, or whatever it is in language learning, retaining. And one very common question that I have gotten over the years is how to retain or, retain vocabulary words. New vocabulary you come across, how to retain those quickly. So I want to get into it, talk about that and exposure, pretty much retaining and exposure. Okay. So yeah, I have this share talk site up here, as you can see, because this is one of the most powerful ways to retain vocab. Okay. Now I made several videos about this before. Getting out there, finding native speakers and practicing what you've learned right away. And from my experience, this is very, very effective. You have to speak with quite a few people, but if you do this, it will take you no longer than a week to remember certain things, either that be vocabulary, grammar, or any type of idiom, but you have to use it over and over again through repetition. So I think this perhaps may be the quickest way to retain vocabulary is just by chatting with people. Okay, multiple people. Now, if you're not the type of person, that likes to get out there and use things right away, then of course it's going to take longer. It's going to take longer. You're going to have to be exposed, a lot of exposure. Reading a lot of material, a lot of material. I mean, so much material to retain certain vocab, idioms, or whatever it is. I mean, you're not gonna look at one vocabulary word in a chapter and retain it. You're not going to remember it. It's just not going to happen. You have to see that vocabulary word many, many times in different areas. And after so many times of seeing that vocabulary, then it's going to be stored in your memory. Now, when you go to a chat room and do this, and you use certain things, let's say, like I mentioned in a video I made years ago, I talk with 5 people at the same time, and I'm using certain vocabulary words or idioms, and I use it with these people, and I find some other people to use it with, and then they use the same word back at me. It's going to help me retain it. Why? Because it happened through repetition. So this is I think this is an easy way to retain things. And I know everyone doesn't have the drive to get out there, find native speakers to practice with, but this is a way that I think a lot of people should know about this, about being able to retain things quickly through by going through chat rooms and chatting with many different people. So I don't want to say it's a shortcut, because it is sort of a shortcut. I guess I would say it's sort of shortcut because it kind of breaks down. It kind of shortens the time, If you, like I said, if you don't do this and you just go, you take the approach of the approach of exposure and do a lot of reading and all that stuff, it's going to take longer. It's going to take longer. But I think there are a lot of people who want to get things down quickly, and they don't know. They're totally unaware of being able to use stuff right away with native speakers, and it helps to retain them quickly. So the only thing I would say as far as like a shortcut, and the only thing that you can't really take a shortcut on is like the pronunciation and accent. It takes a lot of time to get a good pronunciation down, and the only way you can get a good pronunciation and accent down is just do a lot of listening and stuff. There's no shortcut with that. Your brain has to get used to it. It has to get used to all those sounds. So that's something that you can't really take a shortcut on. But yeah, that's I just want to talk about that, about the retaining certain things. And this is what I've been doing for the longest. Don't get me wrong. I like the input. I like to, do a lot of reading and stuff. But at the same time, I really do like to get out there and utilize things right away so I can retain them quickly, So by doing that, it's like, you speak with native speakers, you're using the stuff that you learn, and then you go back to your reading and all that. You'll see that stuff pop up again. I mean, it all works out. It's a good approach. So, yep, that's my little ramble for tonight. Let me know what you guys think, and thanks for viewing. And as usual, I look forward to any comments or questions.